Sup, dudes? How are you? I'm good. I moved. TLDR, I lost my edit drive, so I lost my drive to edit. Which isn't good, because I'm technically a professional editor, but it's slowly coming back, so I gotta take advantage. You see, my brain is annoying, and most likely that one YA book series, I probably should get professional help or, diagnosis. But I'm pretty sure I know my brain more than a professional, so I think I'm gonna stay self-diagnosed, thank you. Speaking of fucked up heads, remember this shit?
Cartoon Network's original movie, Reanimated.
Reanimated is a Cartoon Network live-action animated hybrid type movie that aired in December of 2006. I vaguely remember this movie, and according to IMDb trivia, it only aired twice in 2006, so that might be why I barely remember this movie. But I do remember it! So I figured, why not look back at it almost 20 years later? Oh my god. The only thing I remember about this movie is a kid getting into a bad accident and then getting the brain of a Walt Disney type guy and then being able to see all the cartoons that he created. I think that's just the plot of the movie. I just remember the tagline plot of the movie. So, that's good. Amazing that I still remember it at all. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I might have already said that. We start off with the title song and some cool graphics for the opening credits. Then we open with someone watching cartoons. Please, never again. So while this guy continues to get type 2 diabetes, his son Jimmy comes down ready to go to school.
I need to get to school early.
But he has to finish his shows and his sugar.
Done with my sugar cube crunchums. Makes my hands dance.
And I think the sugar is getting to him because what is this? I'm afraid to actually scream. I forgot how weird this freaking movie was. I mean, yeah, the premise is odd, but his mom is an astronaut who fucked an alien before fucking the man-child?
Makes both my stomachs churn.
We're only 2 minutes in. Sugar High bounces to the car and to his pants.
Pants are in the car. Let's go.
Dad continues to be a nussance
If we run a few quick errands on the way.
while a Bowling for Soup song plays, because it's the early 2000s.
Have a great day, kiddo.
So the reason our main man wanted to get to school early is because he wanted to talk to a girl. Ooh. But our main man sucks at talking to girls.
I just want.
Ooh. He gets called down to the principal's office, who of course is his fucking dad, and he's growing on me, mostly because of this bit.
I'm not Dad here. I'm Mr. Roberts. And Mr. Roberts called you in because he wanted to know how it went this morning with your big important thing.
He asks his son how'd it go, and his son says it didn't go. So he says, practice with me.
Come on, son, it's fine. Ask me out.
This is me editing now, and I realize that they said he's the guidance counselor,
Jimmy Roberts, the guidance counselor's office.
not the principal. Which makes more sense. Who would let this man be a principal?
It's me, Robin.
But also at the same time, who lets this man near children?
How about a kiss? Mwah.
There's a llama, the most 2006 guy you've ever met, and my current new favorite character.
What's your problem?
I don't know. It's just everyone's taking advantage of me.
Oh, really? That's terrible. Hey, let me copy your homework.
Classic dilemma. One kid wants to be cool and popular, and the other one just wants to be respected or something. I don't know. I wasn't listening. Ryan walked by. Sup, Ryan?
Right.
He's so tall. Our boy besties go back to Craig's house, and you'll never guess who's there.
Robin,
But don't worry, he's got it handled.
you can check my pants.
Mop Top makes fun of the Gopher Night cartoon, but Robin thinks it's pretty cool.
Are you crazy? That's like every girl's dream.
Jimmy tries again to ask her if they want to hang out together at the field trip tomorrow, but whoops, seems like Jimmy's into older chicks.
That field trip is for 7th graders only. I'm in 8th grade.
And eating candles.
Hey, is this for grabs? That's a candle.
There's an insane montage edit of the theme park to the same Bowling for Soup song. And I am not lying, this montage is insane. It hurts my editor brain. The cuts are way too fast, there's random lens flares, it's just too random and jarring, and what the fuck is this penguin doing here? All the cool kids already won a bunch of prizes and stuff, so they give him to Jimmy to hold because he's a people pleaser. More souping per bowl. The kids and a duck get a history lesson from Flo from Progressive. I like this scene.
You'll never use this information in your lifetime, but it's the only way this can count as an educational field trip.
I got some good lines, good energy.
Hey, who's ready to learn? Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Is he calling it paste or paints?
Yummy paints.
I mean, it's in a paint can, but usually people eat paste.
The only paints for licking.
So which is it? I'm gonna assume it's paint because the prop, but because of the odd and wacky nature of this movie, usually odd and wacky people eat paste. I mean, like, remember that one episode of Powerpuff Girls where that kid, cleverly named Elmer, ate radioactive paste and turned into a glue monster, and he was all like weird, and he was like really fucked up even before he ate the glue. He was just such a fucking bully, and it's like, dude, I don't even give a shit that you turned to glue.
I'm bored.
If it wasn't obvious enough of who they were parodying, they asked the same conspiracy theory that's tied to Walt himself.
I heard that when Mulz died, they froze his brain so that science could bring him back one day.
Flo denies.
No, honey. No, that's not true.
The cool kids murmur about how cool it would be if someone stole the brain.
Mulz's brain.
So Craig volunteers Jimmy to do it.
Jimmy will do it.
You're not my favorite character anymore.
Who cares?
Jimmy sneaks around the ice-themed dark ride, looking for the brain, when he comes across a cartoonishly alive person. Look, he's even got like a bag with a money symbol on it and everything.
Quit nitpicking me.
The kid freaks because who wouldn't be freaked out and books it. Jimmy runs and runs till he gets hit by a rocket and trained away. No, wait.
Scratch that.
Hits by a train and rocketed away. Weirdly, I also remember the behind the scenes of this scene.
Behind the scenes.
I just mainly remember them like putting them on like wires and just yanking them. Drama, shrill screams, his limp body in the gopher's arms, this guy comforting Craig that it'll be all right.
And everyone who works here is a certified doctor.
Cinema. This is the kooky shit I love. Like, you're not actually washing your hands there, and you don't have hair to cover up, and the virus is over. You don't need to mask up anymore. These trained medical theme park employees decide that the kid needs a brain transplant.
This boy needs an emergency brain transplant.
And the only one they have is Mulz.
We have to give him Mulz.
I wish this movie got to air more because this is fucking great.
You know that cooler that I always bring my lunch in every day?
No.
Well, I've kept the brain in it, so it's never out of my sight. For 30 years, I've gone without lunch.
This shit is weird. I love it. Look at her face here.
Killing it.
The surgery was a success.
The brain transplant was a complete success.
They even saved his personality glands, so now this kid doesn't have to act like an exuberant billionaire guy from the 50s.
Okay.
But he does wake up with more personalities in his head.
Hiya, Jimmy.
Golly?
Back at home, his parents tuck him into bed, and he asks if they saw what he saw.
Did you guys happen to see Golly and Dolly and those guys?
Well, of course, honey. We met all the doctors.
I even got him to sign my autograph book. Score!
But no luck.
Golly wrote K-I-T. I will totally keep in touch.
Jimmy tries to sleep, but a safe falls on him in the middle of the night. Don't ya hate it when that happens?
Now that's what I call a safe landing.
We're introduced to the animated characters that live in Milt, now Jimmy's brain.
Now that you have Milt's brain, you can see us just like Milt saw us.
And this is a silly and goofy movie,
Why aren't you laughing, kid?
but the underlying tones of schizophrenia can't help but poke through.
You just inherited the greatest mind in the world.
This isn't happening.
But we're gonna keep it silly and goofy. The stand-up penguin, naturally voiced by Tom Kenny, throws shade at Euro Disney.
What's black and white and emptier than Golly World Paris? My stomach! Zing!
Thank you, Defunct Land, for helping me understand that reference. And the cartoons rush off to dinner. They run amok in the kitchen and stress Jimmy out, which is totally fine. It's not like he had major surgery today or anything.
What is wrong with you guys?
Jimmy's astute dad comes in and makes himself a midnight snack.
Well,
Diabetes.
Gully explains how only Jimmy can see him because they're inside Jimmy's head.
He couldn't see you guys?
Of course not, Jimmy. We're all in your head.
Hey, that's a good name for a TV show. Wait.
Good job fucking up the joke, idiot. It's called Out of Jimmy's Head, not Inside Jimmy's Head. This isn't fucking Bo Burnham, you dumbass bitch. It's okay. I'm dumb. Love you.
He once again tries to get some sleep, but these animated characters are the worst roommates ever. Speaking of bad roommates, the creepy guy from before tries to gaslight his way into living with them.
I noticed you had a room for rent.
No, we don't.
Astronaut mom is like, not on my planet, but guidance counselor dad is like, I like the effort.
Kids could use a good father figure.
At school, Craig continues to be the worst friend.
I keep seeing cartoons, but like not on TV, in real life. Whatever. What happened to you yesterday? You get hit by a train, then you like totally ditch me. Dude, I was in the hospital. It's always about you, isn't it?
Can't believe I ever liked you. The cartoons try and tell Jimmy to get a new backbone, but he gets a new banana boa instead.
Can you watch my man-eating python?
Sorry, man-eating
Python!
Forgot to feed him.
What?
The cartoons make a deal with him that if they help him not be a pushover, he'll help them in return.
Deal?
Deal!
So this character's trait was just like no shoes. I noticed it before, but I just thought he like took his shoes off for the ride. But no, he just... That's his character. The whole day, the cartoons do cartoon shenanigans to help Jimmy get out of doing things for other people.
That was easy.
On his way out, Robin goes to talk to him.
Why?
Dude, you have to get better with your rambles.
You really laid that eyeshadow on thick. I mean, not that you look cheap.
Robin asks about the brand, but don't tell anyone, because she doesn't want anyone to know she thinks it's cool.
Don't tell anyone I said this, but that's awesome.
Dolly, the girl cartoon, clocks Jimmy's attempt to flirt and tries to help.
Maybe I overdid it.
Now, these are kids. Okay, yes. And the song, If I Loved You from Dirty Princess Di, taught me about the word sapiosexual, which is attraction to intelligence. So, Robin likes Jimmy's brain, and brains equate to intelligence. So therefore, I have no idea where I'm going with this. That night at dinner, I always find it funny when they stage dinner shots like this because of the camera. Like, there's more space at the table. Use it. That night at dinner, like, no family sits like that at a table. You're doing multiple shots over the shoulder shots. Like, you could have made it work. That night at dinner, is that part of the comedy? How uncomfortably close they are with each other? That night at dinner, I mean, I get it, yeah, because it has tension between these two. That night at dinner, creepy dude is being creepy.
Hello, Jimmy.
We learn his name is Sonny.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Sonny. He's living with us now.
We also learn that the sister is adopted.
Yancy's our adopted daughter.
Oh.
Found her on one of my space missions.
Damn. I'm gonna keep in the headcanon that she fucked an alien and then she just told the dad that she found her. The dad's not that smart.
You want me to cut your meat, dear?
Sonny is racist to Yancy.
You're an alien. That's weird. Have any weird powers?
That's really offensive.
Creepy to Jimmy.
Jimmy! Could you pass your brain?
Jimmy puts together who Sonny is and he bolts up from the table.
Wait, no!
And I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at leaving the dinner table before being done. Jimmy tries to get Craig's help again, and though his actions are deplorable, this line is funny.
I told you I keep seeing cartoons in the real world. You know, Golly and Dolly and all those guys?
No, you never tell me anything. I thought I was your best friend.
Dude, I totally told... Ugh.
Craig continues to be oblivious, but Robin believes him.
Hey, Robin. Wow, you're wearing your little booties with your jam.
She pulls him off to her room, which is keypad locked, because she's so embarrassed of her fangirl-filled room.
Even I'm not into us this much.
I think your brain might be the same book series as me, Robin. I hyperfixate on kids' cartoons too. Jimmy goes over all the lore he knows, but Robin knows more. She's got a book.
Is this him?
Yeah.
It's revealed that Sonny is Milt's son.
How come you guys didn't warn me?
I didn't know. He looked totally different 30 years ago.
Yeah, like this?
Yeah!
Robin reads Jimmy a touching tale about the Applegate's father-son relationship.
The only mention of Sonny in Milt's autobiography was, quote, that little booger creeps me out.
I love that she was probably told to do that, but not fully tuck it because of continuity. Dolly finds out that Sonny ruined his brand.
Check a dog.
And he is pissed. Jimmy decides to spy on Sonny to see what he's up to. And this is a great gag. I really thought He was in that bush. And who is in that bush? The episode of Celebrity Princess is not going well, and it seems like Sonny is about to be fired.
Sonny, this company's in the toilet. Speaking of which, I will be right back.
But who's gonna take over the company if Sonny's not?
Whoa.
The adults decide to put a 12-year-old in charge of their company because he shares the brain of their former owner.
Jimmy, you're out. Jimmy, you're in.
And the 12-year-old decides to run the company because it'll make his crush more attracted to him.
She will?
She will? You betcha!
Sonny's pissed because a literal child took his job and his dad's brain.
That brain will be mine.
And Yancey's pissed because he won't shut the fuck up.
Oh my god, we fucking get it. You like Hatchetfield, you like Starkid, get the fuck over it and get back to the fucking thing.
And Jimmy's first day at work, Sonny shows him his new office. He also tries to squish him. But it doesn't work. And now, neither does Sonny.
Work! That you're doing, and not me.
So, he tries to electrocute him, but it doesn't work. And now, neither does Sonny. Totally looks like he was gonna break here. Another bit that made me laugh, just how long it took for her to get to his desk. She tells him that his friends are there.
There's a Craig Yoshida here who says you'd better let him in or he'll tell Robin about your back knee.
God, good thing Robin didn't hear.
Also, there's a Robin Yoshida with him.
What?
Jimmy gives his friends a grand tour, which is basically them just fucking around in the back lots and then going to a film archive that's in a void. He starts holding screenings of the old cartoons, and everyone from school and a lizard show up.
This is alright.
Craig hypes up a cool party that he's gonna have and says that Jimmy's gonna be there because he's cool.
If you like this, you'll love my party. Jimmy will be there, everyone who's cool will be.
He's cool now. Look at him. Look how cool he is. He runs an animation studio. He also has class.
All right, everybody, to class. Let's go.
Golly guilt trips Jimmy into not having a childhood so he can go run an animation studio.
Well, why can't we go to the studio after school like always?
Jimmy, you can't just run a company after school if you want to be successful. It's a 24-hour job.
Robin goes and tries to stop him from going to his animation studio.
Are you leaving?
I don't have time for this right now. I have to get to the studio.
But his Uber's here to go to his animation studio.
Now, if you'll excuse me, my ride's here.
Sonny goes over his grand scheme, which is basically to use the train that killed Jimmy the first time to kill him a second time.
The brain will be mine at last!
Yancey grounds Sonny for not doing his chores.
You're grounded, mister!
Oh, come on, Yancy, be cool!
So his evil plan might not come to fruition.
Stupid alien.
It's alien American.
Jimmy doesn't need a train to die because he's turning into a finance bro.
Can't you see I'm under a lot of pressure here? I don't have time for your stupid little kitty games.
Which is so much worse in my opinion.
Specifically said no falling over.
Robin calls him out on his shit and he thinks making her a mixtape will help.
Yeah, you mean like a mix CD?
What's that?
Yeah, I'll just burn a bunch of MP3s from my PC into a CD.
Now, in this early 2000s lingo ramble, there's like one or two things that's still relevant. My PC and maybe MP3s. Because burning MP3s to a CD has not been a thing for like a decade, which is wild because I remember doing it.
Correction.
I remember my dad doing it for me. And it would be music that he liked, so that I would like because of it. So I have like homebrewed CDs of like the Bee Gees and Earth, Wind and Fire. I also have Fall Out Boy. And I say have because, boom, I have them. Yeah. They're pretty fucking cool. It's a whole ordeal to make sure that these still worked, actually. Am I dumb? Like, what the fuck? I'm doing all of this to unplug my Wii so I can plug in a DVD player so I can play a CD to see if the music is still good. How's your night going? I just realized what shirt I'm wearing. TV series. No. It was a movie, technically. I don't know, I'd actually never read them. My aunt gave me a toolbox when I was in college. And it's pink, because, you know, girl. And these were the screwdrivers. This is the smallest thing in the world, and I have used it for
a decade. A lot of times to clean out a pipe. The same aunt that got me the toolbox got me this cute little thing that I used to cover up the wires for the TV. And it says, "Be still." Oh, God. Fucking finally. Did you like my butt? Pro tip, unscrew it fully. Don't just kind of unscrew it and then try and jiggle. Like fully unscrew it and it can just easily come off. This is so needlessly complicated. I'm so happy I live in the now. But this is gonna hit me in the nostalgics. Where the frick is the remote? Oh my God. Huh? Oh my God, it's loading. This is a good thing, isn't it? Do I have the wrong remote? Next is Fallout Boy. I think it's quite fitting that it's 70s disco and then early 2000s punk pop. I don't know. Those two CD worthy. This one didn't have a label, so I'm wondering what's on it. I hope it's nothing embarrassing. Let's see. Oh my God. The only two songs are Bad Day and Unwritten. 'Cause you had a bad day. Don't worry, everyone. I fixed this back up. It's all clean. No problem.
Speaking of things that go on too long, this shot.
There's a guy I know, he's not doing so well, and I don't think he'd mind if you called just to tell him you love him. I think that would help him. He's been down.
It's 17 seconds, which doesn't sound long, but is way too long. They're basically having a quarantine hangout, but it's a I'm too busy at work to physically be there hangout.
Carol Ann, can you lift me up so I can dunk?
Craig calls Jimmy out for being a shitty friend.
Dude, you're being a crappy friend.
Hot calling the kettle hot there, sir.
I think it's calling the kettle black, not calling it hot. I mean, it's hot because it's a kettle, but it's also black, right? Wait a sec. Kettle call. It is calling it black. Oh. Maybe. Then what's calling the kettle hot? Wait, did I say hot, but I meant black? What did I say?
Calling the kettle hot there.
I said hot. It's black.
I mean, he does point out how he kind of sucks, and he knows he sucks, and he knows that Jimmy won't tolerate it.
You're my only friend. You're the only one nice enough to put up with me.
Craig also brings up the party again.
Yeah, next you're gonna be too busy to come to my party. And if you don't come, nobody will.
Jimmy says that he's gonna be there.
Dude, I'll be there, okay?
And if you and me or anyone else who's ever fucking watched a movie, you know he's not gonna be there.
Come on, Craig, I will, I promise.
Of course, the TV premieres the same day as the party.
Tonight's your big TV debut.
What? Nobody told me it was tonight?
And Jimmy has to decide which one to go to.
Wish I could make everybody happy.
You can't, kid.
And I also think this is the first time I have mentioned the TV premiere. They're rebranding Mulz's show just now with Jimmy.
It's the marvelous mind of Jimmy, formerly Mulz.
Robin apologizes for their conversation from before.
I don't have time for this right now. I'm late for my television debut.
Realizes he's not going to Craig's and then calls him out again.
You haven't changed at all. Before you couldn't say no to people, now you can't say no to the cartoons. You do everything they tell you to.
He calls her out for only liking Mulz's brain.
And who are you anyway? The only reason you ever liked me is because I had Mulz's brain.
Jimmy throws some shade, throws on some shades, and heads out.
What kind of an Appleday fan are you anyway?
Sonny tries sneaking out since he's grounded. And this is such a low bar, but I really love when they just hard cut stop the music and not add a record scratch or something.
What are you doing?
I think it's just funnier. Robin figures out Sonny's complicated plan.
Why do you have a cooler?
Oh, I'm getting chopped ice for Jimmy's brain. What? I mean, I'm gonna chop his head off with my train. Why am I talking?
So that's why I've been following Jimmy, to get your father's brain?
I have no idea how you discovered my sinister plot, Robin.
So he kidnaps her. Just kick him in the nards. Everyone in a go to Riva Craig's party. Well, everyone in a go but Jimmy and Robin, because one is watching this model who's way too into her job, and the other is kidnapped. Craig's party's a buzz.
No way, this party rules. Best ever.
But also, everyone's bringing the vibe down. They came in immediately fucking moping. Like, dance. Do something, guy. Don't just sit there and be like, this party sucks.
This party is lame.
This party sucks. Fucking.
Yeah, we're leaving if Jimmy doesn't show up.
Then make it not suck, Mr. Cool Guy. Also, that actor is the same actor that was in that episode of Drake and Josh where, like, he cheats on Megan. We all know the episode I'm fucking talking about. Back at the TV premiere, Jimmy is starting to feel the guilt of his ego, while Golly is feeling the rage of his ego.
This is what you always hope for. All I ever wanted.
I don't care what you want! I made you who you are! And you're gonna go on TV and make me a big star again!
Golly freaks at Jimmy and tells him that he has to continue because of the brand. The brand!
My brand!
But Jimmy finally gets some self-respect and stands up for himself.
I don't want to do this.
Sonny and Golly are like, oh shit.
What? What?
And right as Jimmy's about to talk about friendship, the network cuts him off.
Friendship is like a magnificent flower.
Typical. Sonny still tries to kill Jimmy, but he jumps off the train.
You're still gonna ride my train!
Sonny lets it slip that Robin's gonna get hit by the train, so Jimmy runs to go save her.
Wait, what was that part about Robin?
Nothing. Not one thing.
It's a nice little parallel moment from the cartoon and the opening of the movie to now. I see what you're doing there, you know? There's some thought that's into this. Someone's brain was not replaced with AI, which is what they're trying to do nowadays. That's probably what they would do if the movie was made now. Like, oh, the kid got hit by a train, just put a robot in his brain. Whoa, bars. Kid got hit by a train, just put a robot in his brain. I think I found the third song to go on that CD. Okay. That comes in to be a moron, as per usual.
It all makes sense. Your mysterious arrival after Jimmy's accident, your secret equipment tracking his every move.
I can explain.
But it wasn't until today when I looked into those eyes, those dark, mysterious eyes, that I figured it out. Yancy, it's your mother in disguise.
What?
What?
Tries to smooch Sonny, but he's not just racist, he's homophobic, and he gets out of there.
Kiss.
Forget you people. I'm getting my brain.
Golly apologizes to Jimmy since they almost died,
I'm sorry. I get it now.
and he's like, yeah, whatever, we gotta save the girl.
You want help? Help me save Robin!
So Golly turns Jimmy into a cartoon. Do you think Jimmy can turn him into a real gopher?
That guy only cares about himself.
As a knight on his steed, he races off to save the damsel in distress from the oncoming train. He poofs into the control room and has to figure out what the hell to do.
How'd you guys stop the train in the cartoon?
Don't ask me. I don't remember any of my early work.
And again, parallel to the opening cartoon, it's the same fucking solution.
Oh, right!
They stop the train, they save the girl. Thanks to soup in a can. And they made it a lot more clear what was in the can this time.
Brought to you by Tummy Yummy Paints. Finger licking safe since 1977. Now in chicken noodle, minestrone, and vegetable barley.
He said paint, but the names are soup flavors. Oh wait, the last one was like cherry berry. That's like not soup or paste or paint. So like jelly candy? And like Jimmy was like, let's make soup? Or more likely an executive was like, let's make soup, and then gave it to Jimmy, and Jimmy was like, okay.
What, can you sign this, Jimmy? Yeah.
You gotta read those contracts, my guy. Sometimes you're just signing your life away to soup, and that's not super. Sonny chases after Jimmy, and Jimmy disguises himself as Milt. But Sonny doesn't fall for it.
It's over, Jimmy.
Until he does.
Dad.
Ultimately, Yancy just zaps Sonny away. You couldn't have done that sooner?
I love this song.
Craig's party is popping now. But Craig ruins it.
Who wants to play spin the bottle?
Jimmy finally shows up.
Out of sight!
Damn it. Record scratch. Now I will let it slide because they established before that they were playing with the records before. So they established it in the universe. It wasn't just a gag. It was kind of plot driven. Okay, I'll let it slide. The cool kids make fun of him for quitting a CEO job.
Way to make a fool of yourself on TV, dork.
Jimmy apologizes to Craig, who hasn't developed as a character at all.
I really want you to know that you're my only real friend, too.
What?
You know, at the basketball court.
I didn't say that. I have tons of friends. You see how hopping this place was? Your video conferencing must have messed up or something.
Jimmy asks Robin to dance, and they awkwardly kid sway, surrounded by animated cartoons that only Jimmy can see. He gives her mixtape, and she runs off.
And thanks. I'm gonna go play right now.
Dolly says their next big move is a movie for her starring him. And as he goes over the plan and what the movie's about, the credits start rolling. Epilogue, Jimmy is running down the stairs excited for school. Dad's got his pants on.
Got my pants on.
And Mom's got cookies.
Extra cookies for being so good while I was away.
Sonny is still alive and still trying to kill Jimmy. Classic hijinks.
Dude!
Movie ends with a freeze frame on Sonny. The end. That was totally a tagline at the end to set up the show, which again I vaguely remember. And maybe we'll get around to one day. As far as the movie goes, it is odd.
I wish I had a big, strong man.
And wacky.
Robin, I don't have back. I mean, I do, but I got a cream.
And weird.
That's like saying all Belgians are good at juggling.
So yes?
And I appreciate it.
If you don't shape up, I've got 1 million jugglers in Belgium just waiting to take your place.
I mean, it wasn't perfect or laugh out loud funny, but I enjoyed it. It was a good one. It had those moments, and those were good enough for me. The jokes at Disney were pretty clever, but the tone is definitely an acquired taste. I can see why it didn't do so well.
The kind of humor and tone the Cartoon Network has always had.
The acting wasn't bad. The kid that played Robin was a little flat.
Every girl loves nights.
But she wasn't terrible. Overall, Reanimated is what you'd expect from an early 2000s TV movie. It was still innovative with the mixed media. The animation, the eye lines don't fully match up sometimes. That's fine, whatever. Kid's trying his fucking best.
They have these cutouts, so usually they put them at where they would be.
It's no Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but it is definitely impressive for 2006 on a Cartoon Network TV movie budget. It could have looked worse, I think. It could have been blended worse. But I mean, also, it's supposed to look like cartoons out of place. They're cartoons out of place. I give it endless years of therapy out of 3. To future me editing this, first video in the new space. Well, technically, first finished video in the new space. And right now Spice is looking at me. Hi, baby, I see you. You're so cute. I wish I could just flip around. Baby, I see you. Hello, beautiful. She knows when the camera's on her. She's a little freaking poo who I love so much, and the only thing that keeps me sane in this box that I live in. Love you. Have a grand old time editing this because we're professional editors. Well, we're one professional editor. Yeah, my brain is definitely neurodivergent.
Is this fruit up for grabs?
I would like to point out, I went that entire review without pointing out that Dolly was voiced by Paul Rubens, a.k.a. Pee-wee Herman. You can tell I'm a big fan. Not that I hate... Wow, that... R.I.P., man.